I'm about to tell you this one learning that completely changed my life. Not only that, it brought me such a huge sense of relief. Not only that, it is the one learning that before I knew it, it cost me so much time, so much effort, and so much money that I spent on learning and healing and growing and fixing my life, because the personal development space is all about, and yes, this is coming from someone who is an NLP trainer, someone who is an author, someone who is a mindset coach. I literally certify coaches out there. And so I will be the first to tell you this, that this one learning made me realize of how much BS is taught out there, is sold out there. And people are literally trapped in the matrix of, I need to fix myself. I need to work on myself. This area of my life needs to be fixed next. Okay, this area of my life needs to be so action oriented. And man, I spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on coaches and events and this and that. And the reason I want to tell you this is because I want you to have an easier experience. I did that. So you can have this big ass learning, this big ass breakthrough, this big ass epiphany, and go like, holy shit. How did I miss this? How did I not realize? Because let me tell you, when I realized it, right? I was like, wait a minute. What? That makes sense. That makes sense. And in that moment, everything clicked in for me. So if you're someone who gives a rat's butt about working on yourself, who cares about healing, who wants to be the best version, because hey, we all want that, right? We all want to operate as our highest self, for sure. And that is the only reason ever that these events get to us, that we listen to them and we're like, oh yeah, motivation, I'm gonna go work on my this and on to so action oriented, right? But we have been going about it all wrong. Because get this, no matter, and this is the big learning, all right? Are you ready for it? I am so excited to share it with you, okay? Now think about this. Every single problem that you have in your life, every single problem, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your friend circle, whether it's in money, whether it's in consistency, whether it's in your health, whether it's in your energy, whether it's in whatever, every single problem in your life is actually just one problem. It's actually just one problem. But your ego, so remember, there's the 5D, the quantum realm, the 4D, the realm, the mental realm, right? And the 3D, the physical realm, where you can touch, taste, feel, see. And in this realm, from oneness, which is in the 5D, which is the quantum, when things manifest in the 3D plane, it appears to be in separation. It appears to be this, I am this person, you are that person. There is a difference in consciousness. There's a difference in identity. There is an appearance that's going on of separation, of duality. And that is why we perceive that one problem. I know I'm holding up two, right? So in the realm of this separation, it appears like there's multiple problems. You know, my relationship's going bad, and the person will say, I'm not having success in my business, and this thing is not working out, and that thing is not working out, and I need to fix all these different things. Except you don't. Except you don't. Believe it or not. Well, there was this book or show that was like something, believe it or not, I don't know. But that one problem, what it does is when it comes down here, it appears in separation, but really it goes and mirrors in all areas of our lives. It will mirror to you this energy dynamic in your relationship. It will mirror to you this energy dynamic in your finances. It will mirror to you in your health. It will mirror, but the mirror that is mirroring is the same. which means that at the core, it is all. So, for example, let me draw this for you. Let me draw it for you, my friend. Damn. Oh, damn. So, all right. So let's say this is your actual problem, all right? This is your problem. We'll put a P here. And now in the quantum, this is just one problem, okay? But when it's coming down into your physical world, it will appear as multiple problems in your relationship, in your career, in your money, in your energy. And it will look like, whoa, I have all these different problems. And the way they get you is they're going to tell you, they're going to be like, oh, life mastery. Okay, now you need to master X thing. Now you need to work on this area specifically. No, you actually don't need to specifically work on each area of your life. If you get this, if you can like get to the core and change this one thing from the core, it will trickle down into shifts in all areas of your life. So no, you don't need extensive amount of therapy for each problem in your freaking life. You want me to blow your mind even more? Let me tell you this, get this. You know how a lot of times, and I am telling you this because I have been there. When they say been there, done that, that is my life. Because every time, like, I had to figure a lot of this out by myself, right? I've always been very opinionated. So when I attend a program or I listen to a coach, my knee jerk is not that, okay, like I will accept everything you're saying. I'll be like, no, I'll take this from you. I'll take that from you. I'll take this from you. I'll take that from you. Let me make sense of how it makes sense to me. So anyways, and I do a lot of research. It's been almost 4 years at this point. It has been almost 4 years at this point, like 3.5, over 3.5. And in this time, like when I tell you, I have spent actual months, weeks, years studying this stuff, doing this stuff, making those mistakes and seeing the repercussion in my life, seeing how each thing that I did, what was the byproduct looking like in my life? And the one thing that I was addicted to at one point, right? I was addicted to was finding out when something wasn't working in my life, right? I would sit there and I'd be like, okay, why? Why is this not working? And I would just intellectualize and I would go down this rabbit hole of, okay, where are you coming from? And what is this? What I'm not saying, by the way, this is not to say shadow work isn't important or integrating your shadows is not. Those are very real and very important things to do. I'm talking after having done all of that. Every single time the 3D would show me something, an experience that was different than what I was, like projecting, and I'd sit there and I'd be like, oh no, but why do I feel this way? I need to figure out my feeling. And I would go down this, spend 2-3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes days, just figuring out my freaking feelings. And then I learned you actually don't need to figure shit out to change the 3D. And they had me fooled, because most people that I learned from talked about how you need to figure it out. You need to go sit in that therapist's office, talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and repeat the story of your problem over and over and over again, and live it and live it again and live it again and live it again and live it again. And then maybe somehow after X amount of months or X amount of weeks or X amount of years, you're going to figure out where it's coming from. But you don't need to. Like I had learned to shorten the figuring out process. Okay, so what would take generally people all this time, because I practiced, like, okay, give me like 2 hours, 3 hours. I will sit with myself. I will sit and I'll figure it out. I will get to where this is coming from. But you know what? You think, or I would think, that getting to the core would give me some form of closure, some form of like, okay, this validates my feelings. Now I know why I felt this way. I don't fucking have to know. Excuse my French, but I don't have to know. And here's why. You know, let's talk about nature for a moment, right? Now, let's talk about nature in the sense that the way that nature operates actually teaches us how to operate in our own lives, right? Nature is our teacher. Now, in nature, you see that, let's say there's a river flowing, okay? Now this river is flowing and it's flowing and it's flowing, and now at some point there's like a big freaking boulder in the middle of, the stream or whatever. Now this water, it will not try to figure out why this boulder is here. Understand this. Like, I want you to, if you have a logical mind, which we all do, by that I mean if you are someone who operates so logically, who needs everything to make logical sense to them, hey, I was that, right? Like, I needed my logic. But I want you to, for just the next few minutes, tell yourself, logic, F you logic, okay? Just sit the F down and let me feel this information that's coming in. Let me feel how it lands in my body. Because when you're trying to make sense of something that is energetic, it's a transmission, it is an awakening call, it is an intuitive thing, it is a thing that you can only experience in your body, and you're trying to use this freaking logical mind? Let me ask you this, can your mind ever define God? Can your mind ever understand or comprehend what the infinite means? No. Because the divine begins truly, you get to taste the divine, the energy of the divine. I mean that metaphorically. You get to experience it at the end of your logic. Where logic fails, where logic cannot go with you, that is where true divinity begins. That is where the infinite begins. That is where the ecstasy of life begins. Because this logical mind has been given to protect you, to help you survive. And when it doesn't know better, when it doesn't know that you're not that little girl anymore, you're not a little dude anymore who needs protection, that you are an adult and you are safe, and you can now allow yourself to trust in something greater than yourself, in some power greater than yourself. If you cannot your mind will not allow you to go there, because that is the realm of the unknown. As long as you operate out of logic, you will operate in the realm of the known, because the mind needs to know facts. What I'm about to tell you, this is an energy. This is an energetic, literally, transmission. It is an awakening experience. Like, I have chills in my body as I am speaking these words, because this does not come from the mind. Honey, this comes from your higher self. This comes from an energy being in flow, leading from heart, leading from love, letting that energy in, letting that faith guide you. And faith can never be understood. So if you're going to try to understand this knowledge, if you're not even knowledge, if you're going to try to understand this truth, you're going to go running around in circles, because it is not something to be understood. It is something to be experienced. That was the biggest thing that I was doing, that was keeping me stuck. Is I would just get lost in the realm of the mind, the mental, the logical. This is our bridge to the 5D. But when we actually don't know how to take advantage of this powerful, beautiful imagination that is in our mind, when we don't know how to play with it, when we don't know how to use it to our advantage, you know what happens? it uses you. And it keeps you running around in circles in your life. And you see people around you do that. We see people around us that are living these day-to-day lives that are just on autopilot, that are monotonous. They're not happy. They don't know what it's like to taste the ecstasy in life. They don't know what it's like to taste the awe. They may have felt it in a moment or two. They may have, and they're constant, because what is everyone really doing? Everyone's looking for that ecstasy because they know it exists. We all know it exists. Why? Because we have felt it at some moment. This opening of the heart, this fulfillment, this excitement, this wonder, this magic. And because we don't know, or we didn't know how to access it internally and perpetually, we attributed that feeling to something in the external, that, oh, when I got this pen, I felt this way. And now the thing about this feeling is that when it's not activated from your internal, and when it is coming as a projection from the external, you're thinking that this external thing is the solution. It is the juice that fills my void. But here's the thing, no amount of things are ever gonna give you that feeling to last, because the 3D world is meant to be a world of lack, where nothing will ever feel enough for you. If you're always looking for, if this pen makes you good, like gives you that sense of excitement, guess what's gonna happen tomorrow? Or maybe 3 days later, maybe for 3 days you go off on this ecstasy of this pen, but the 4th day, it's just a freaking pen. Think about what happens when you buy a new phone. The first few days, the first few months, even weeks, you're just like, oh, I want to protect you. You're so special, blah, blah. Then what happens? It's not so special anymore. Then Apple comes out with another new iPhone and you're like, oh, okay, so I don't even have the latest phone anymore. Or maybe there's this big achievement you were working towards and you were like, oh my God, when I do this, when I achieve this, it is going to feel magnificent. And it does. It does. When you're in that moment, it is as glorious most of the time as you thought it would be. When I wrote my first book, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to launch this. And I was just like, it was something I had dreamt about since I was 18. And then it was done. And I was like, yeah, I'm an author. Cool. What's next? Because that buzz dies. And that feeling does not last. So you start to look for the next thing that will give you that feeling. You start to go like, okay, well, maybe if I achieve this thing, maybe this amount of money will give it and make it last. But trust me when I say this is not a feeling that can ever last and can ever stick if it is coming from the external. But once you know how to activate it internally, you become like, you could be like just sitting and you're in awe. You're like, you're just holy shit. You're just like, you look around you and you live in this holy shit frequency. In this vibration of like, oh my God, is anything even real? Like you're just, the fan will make you go off at how magical it looks. And you will never need a thing to tell you what to feel ever again. And that, my friends, is the place where when you get there, and you get there in a way that you know how to stay there, life just works. Everything just works for you. You become the luckiest person in every room. Every opportunity falls in your lap. It looks like you have like this cloud of luck literally on top of your head. You're always inspired. You know exactly what to do, where to go, who to talk to. Money, like people will pay you and they will feel great. They will feel magnetized by you. Your relationships will reflect this love, this security, this safety, this freedom, this liberation. Everything in your world will be a mirror for the energy you're given out. And now remember how I said every problem is just one problem? Well, that's just it. It's not a problem of anything but your own frequency. When your frequency is misaligned, it appears because your frequency is attracting every experience in your life. If you are meeting me for the first time and you just heard that is two macaws I have. One's named Drogo, one's named Ice. They're so cute. So your frequency is what draws in your every experience. And now when you fix that one problem, not even fix, when you elevate, when you actually get to your natural frequency, which is a high frequency, like it's not even something you need to get. It is who you are. You know, the funniest shit is that everyone's fighting for something in life. Some people are fighting for their job. Some people are fighting for their business. Some people are fighting for love. You're fighting for this, fighting for that, fighting for a cause, fighting to be successful, to be somebody, to be this, to do that, to do that. And then most people, not everyone, but most people suffer a lot when they fight for the external. And that's why we have a choice. It's not about because here's the thing. Look, discipline in any shape or form in your life will feel difficult, not because it is difficult, but because it's uncomfortable. It's something that you're now building a new habit on. Most people will build the discipline to go to the gym. They'll build the discipline to do this thing. They'll build the discipline to do X, Y, Z. They'll build the discipline to work 20 hours a day, 18 hours a day, 16 hours a day. I was that person, by the way, who would go off by telling people that, hey, I worked 16 hours today. What did you do? I was proud of that. I was proud of the fact that I worked like it was the only thing to do in life. And I was suffering. I was miserable. And so that was hard, right? But the thing is that anything in the external will already be hard to be in discipline for. But if you can build the discipline to choose to feel good every day, if you can build the discipline to choose to feel good every day, you will never have to fight for anything in the external world, not in the way that you have your whole life. I'm not saying that the 3D will just be all freaking unicorns. The discipline that is glorified in our society is the discipline of blood and sweat. It's the discipline of hard work. People meet and that's all they talk about. Oh, I worked extra long hours, I had overtime and I had this, and oh, my business, this is going on and I'm working for this and I'm working for that, and they're stressed and they're grumpy. Usually a lot of times when I'm in the car and I'm going anywhere, right, I look up, I'm not driving, so obviously I look out and I look at other people, and I so infrequently see someone actually having a glimmer of joy in their eyes. People are tired, they look pissed off, and they look upset, and they look angry, and they look like life is just, going by. So the discipline most people are used to is the discipline of blood and sweat. It is what we have been conditioned to since we were kids. You need to work hard to succeed. Success doesn't come easy. You have to do this, you have to do that, blah, 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 all these things to condition you in that rat race. But the discipline I'm talking about, friends, is the discipline of feeling good. But because we're addicted to feeling bad, what happens? It feels hard to get up every day and decide to feel good. Because every part of you that is addicted to the familiar, that is addicted to being stressed, addicted to feeling pissed off, will fight you on it. And that is what keeps you in that reality, because That's the frequency you're sending out, and that's the life that you're getting. But when you build the discipline to feel good, when you build the discipline to commit to feeling your ecstasy every single day, to feel illuminated, to feel so overjoyed, to feel in awe, to feel in bliss, what happens is that everything just works out for you. In the shortest amount of time, in the easiest way possible, because it is meant to be easy. It is meant to be easy. It is meant to surprise you. It is meant to leave you. Like, it is meant to blow your freaking mind. You just gotta have the discipline to feel good. And here's the thing. Let me ask you this. A lot of people say, I just can't believe, or it's hard. I doubt that I can succeed, or I doubt that I can do this. I don't know how to trust. And that's wrong, because everyone in the world knows how to trust. Everyone's always believing. You're always trusting. It's a matter of, what are you trusting? What are you trusting? Most people, they will trust and believe that things won't work out for them. They will trust and have no doubt about the fact that life is limited and life sucks for them, and that scarcity is everywhere, and that people are out to get them. And I empathize with that. I have compassion for you, because I've been there. I was those people, and that's why I get to tell you that it changes, that it can change, and it does. Like, that was what it was for me. I forgot what I was saying. So lost in my magic. But here's the gist of it, right? Yeah, trust. So you're always trusting something. So the question is, if you can trust your limitations so much, what if you trusted in the ease of things for once? Just to try, like, just take it out for a ride for a month. Trust that it can be easy for you. Trust that you're worthy. Trust that everything works out for you. I mean, you have no hard time trusting that things don't work out for you. And guess what's happened so far? You have created that exact reality. So what if you trusted that things actually do work out? What if you could trust that it is easy? What if you could trust that it gets to be so magical? Because when you do that, you know what's going to happen? That exact thing. You will see it. Because our frequency is the key. Your frequency is everything. Your frequency is everything. Your frequency is everything. Your frequency is the one thing. You shift this, you shift everything else. So remember when I was talking about the water? Now that river, that water, when there's a boulder here, it will not say, boulder, oh boulder, move. It won't say, hey boulder, what are you doing here? What does the water do? What is the nature's way of approaching resistance? It will go around it. Literally, it will just go around it, or it'll go on top of it, but it will not change it. What do we try to do? Something in my external I don't like, I will change you. No, you go around it. Something happens, it puts maybe it drops your frequency a little bit. Maybe it makes you feel a type of way that you don't like to feel. What do? You don't react to the thing. You don't say, screw you. You go like, all right, let me go around that. Let me go around it. You don't need to know the why. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to understand it. You don't need to intellectualize it. You don't need to know why it's happening. You just need to move around it, period. That gave me so much relief to know. Cause it taught me that you don't need to change anything in the external. Like if you're feeling a type of way, babe, focus on getting the ecstasy, go around it. Cause the solution will be where the problem is not. Because when what happens with us, or what happened with me and what happens with my clients, I've seen is that when there is a boulder here, when there is a resistance here, they will focus from the mind that created, from the energy that created the boulder, that created the resistance. They will focus on, how do I solve this? But the consciousness that created it will not be the one that resolves it, will not be the one that's going to give you the solution. And the solution is right in front of you, but you are not at the level of consciousness, or you are not at the frequency that you can perceive of it. So you start thinking, oh, this is just so hard, because you are dropping to that frequency and you're mulling in that frequency. So you go around it and you get in your ecstasy, you get in your focus on something that makes you feel good. It could be something like literally a cup of coffee. Okay? That makes you like just be present with the cup of coffee. Just bring all your senses here and be like, smell the coffee and just go like, holy crap, what a privilege. And just for that moment, let everything go. And from that starting point, you start to go in your mind and you start to get in, like, not your logical mind, you start to go in your imagination and you start to lose yourself in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you lose yourself and you see this movie, and you see this is what's happening, you see it, you feel it so much until it is you, until you're vibrate, like you can feel this energy in your hands, in your feet, in your heart, in your DNA. And that's when you open your eyes and you come back. And I promise you, when you do that, the solution's just gonna be pop in your mind, and you're gonna be, oh, it was that simple, period. It was that simple, period. So, if you've stuck around till the end, then obviously you enjoyed this and you want to know more, and you want to know, Anna, okay, cool, how do I change my frequency in a way that it is lasting, in a way that, there's never going back, in a way that I can taste it, I am it. How do I do that, Anna? Well, in the description below, you're gonna find a link to my free workshop that is happening on 1st Feb. It's happening in a couple of days, and it's gonna be 3 hours. You're gonna get a workbook, and that is where we will activate a dominant vibration, okay? I will do this activation with you, and I will show you how easy it gets to be. I will simplify the way that the universe works for you. I will give you my 0 BS manifestation method. That is not to freaking manifest these little things. It is about manifesting. I have chills. An entire life upgrade. And it's gonna change your life. That's all. Like, it's gonna change your life. I love you, and I am so elated to serve you, and I look forward to it with my whole heart. I'll see you there.